The 91st book that I read in 2023 is The Anxious Truth, a step by step guide to understanding and overcoming panic, anxiety, and agoraphobia by Drew Linsalata. Uh, this is a mixed bag for me. I would give this book a B minus. It took about 6 hours to listen to, actually. I didn't read it. It is interesting in that it advocates the idea of leaning into your anxiety, to instead of fighting your anxiety, accepting your anxiety. And I think that's really interesting, and I think that's really helpful, and I think it's really accurate. It brushes up against the idea of therapy and medication being unnecessary. I don't believe it ever said that therapy and medication was unnecessary, but it certainly made me listen for that. So it backed off just enough that I would recommend this book. I think there are a lot of lessons in this book to be had. It backed off of some ideas that I would definitely reject, but it did brush up against them, so I can only give the book a B minus. But I do think that it's worth it, and if reading this book isn't worth it, the idea of leaning into your anxiety and accepting your anxiety, which is something that I started noticing with the Stoic books that I read earlier this year, is definitely worth educating yourself about. So there is a lot of good in this book. I just think that it should definitely not be the only book about anxiety that a person reads. So recommended, but with an ounce of incredulity.